I don't want you to post any single Instagram story until you know the technique, the secret that I will be explaining you here in today's video. My story views increased by 50 to over 100%. Right? My sales increased by 20 to 30%. My inbounds increased. The engagement increases, right? Plus, the overall brand exposure became so much bigger and increased the moment I started implementing this strategy. And that is why I want you to understand that close friends is a very powerful metric the moment you understand how to leverage it the right way in combination with a proper story sequence. Because when you have the ability to attract constant attention, but you don't know how to convert it well, do you think you're going to make more sales for your lower high ticket offer? I don't think so. We were able to collect 1,800 leads following this exact process in combination with the story views I run, right? Because listen, guys, the moment you have or want to leverage a personal brand is the moment you are basically operating within an ecosystem. So I want you to understand the purpose of the ecosystem, right? The most important thing is that instantly the moment you leverage a close friend story, right? Because I will be explaining you how to install it correctly, how to set it up correctly, how to leverage it, and how to profit from it, right? It moves to the front. So it moves to the front. So imagine you're standing in a line at the airport and you're like, listen, I don't have priority, but I want to move to the front of the line. You wouldn't be able to, right? Because you need to wait for every single person. But with close friends, you're basically skipping that part on Instagram. Instead of being at the end of the line while posting a story, while getting decent traction, now you will instantly be moved towards the front of the line, no matter how important a certain person is, etc. Right? The moment you follow the system that I will be explaining in this video, because the moment you do this every time is the moment you fuck it up for yourself. It's the moment it goes wrong, obviously, right? And increase your story views by 50 to 100%. Imagine having 50 inbounds, right? Instead of 25. Imagine having 10 calls instead of 5, right? 4 closes, 26K cash for a 6.5K offer is better than 13K in cash, right? Because we want to diversify the attention that we have and we want to redirect it to any single source that we can leverage, like long-form content, short-form content, assets, lead magnets, anything. That is how we build an ecosystem that compounds, right? Which is a very beneficial metric that we can use like this, close friends. So let me explain you the system, right? As you can see here, within 3 minutes, the first time of posting my close friends story, I had 174 story views, right? 8 hours later, I had 2.4K. By the end of the 24 hours, I had 3.6K story views. Partially, if these people go to your profile because they say like, Nick, listen, I want to know more about what you do. I want to see what you do. What do you do? 347 people went to my profile. So how do you capitalize and redirect the attention the right way for you to profit from this? Because like most people lack because they have a gap within their funnel, within their system, which doesn't acquire them to constantly build bridges so the warm leads can walk over these bridges. Before I show the exact technique and the exact strategy that I leverage, I want you to understand that we first generate attention, we redirect that attention, we convert it by leveraging converting assets, right? Could be actionable reels, driven reels for people to comment, right? Hey guys, I have the complete appointment setting flow that you need to leverage for you to be able to have the ability to convert an insane amount of cold or warm leads using this appointment setting process. Comment the word appointment and I'll send you over the exact asset, right? Appointment, 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 as you can see here on my Instagram. Then YouTube video, long form content. The reason why you're still watching this video right now at this specific point after 7-8 minutes is because you understand and you believe that I have to provide value. And that is exactly the reason why you keep watching, right? Keeping people's attention is a 7-figure skill set. That is the thing that I always talk about, right? Generating and converting attention is a 6-figure skill set, like an appointment setter or a closer. So the most important thing here is you can collect user information, a lead magnet, right? So for example, we go to niksetting.com/assets. I collect opt-ins, I collect data here, right? Because based on data, we can make improvements. We collect users and we make sales. I collected over 21K in cash yesterday, okay? This was yesterday. But making these amounts of money is fun. But it will never happen the moment you don't understand how to run proper stories, because that is one of the most important metrics that you can ever leverage for you to be able to have the ability to profit from attention. Okay? This close friends thing is just a boost of engagement based on the sequence that you will be running, that I will be explaining here today. As you can see here, 2K spent in 1.5 months collecting. The thing that you do here within these few first stories is this. Let me see if I can get this away. You make people aware. Awareness is one of the most important things that you can do the moment you understand how to make a value-driven story. So I make people aware about what is possible. Okay? Then the second thing that I do, I'll be busy busy closing pre-sold, ready-to-pay deals. Scarcity. Right? The ability to create scarcity. And this is not fake scarcity. This is complete real scarcity. Right? I'm never doing things based on fake scarcity. You can do it if you wanted to, if you feel like that's ethical. I don't think it's ethical, so I don't do it. You're grinding for 1 to 3K deals that have hundreds of objections and then tell you, don't need to think about it after 2-hour closing call. While I'll just hop on a call and within 20 minutes, people paid multiple 4 figures. Right? Pain. Insane amounts of pain. When I tell you I close a multiple 4-figure deal within 20 minutes because people are pre-sold, they saw my content, they fucking like my content, they just want to pay me, right? You just get to the onboarding call immediately. I don't call my sales calls, I call them onboarding calls because people are ready to pay, right? Creates an insane amount of pain because the moment you have a 3K offer and you cannot sell it, you're on calls, you're exhausted, you have second follow-up calls, third follow-up calls. You're like, how can I close these people, right? Pain and scarcity, right? Being diversified into these two, then get your sales funnel down ASAP. Before there's going to be a point you can't even compete with me anymore, right? Hope it'll make you think. Hey Nick, I've seen your recent YouTube videos and I've been following you for 2 weeks along the way. Just realized that you're the only real person in the entire market because you get the best client results. I want to be part of this. Send me the payment link. Boom, send them the payment link, close. Easy, right? Because my entire brand image gives that expression towards them for them to be able to have the ability to say things like this. Okay? So this solution, right? This is part of the solution and part of credibility here. We need to use credibility all the time. We do it slightly. Sometimes we do it more than other times, right? Credibility, solution. Then we go into a CDA. We say, boom, we have talked about the scarcity, we've talked about the pain, we've talked about the solution, we have given credibility, CDA. Right? CDA driven. So it goes into this, which is if you want to scale to $200,000 a month in profit, I'm opening 10 spots to work with me personally in August, one-on-one. Offer outbound ads, growth team, systems, fulfillment, etc. DM me the word info and I'll send you details. Boom. Info. Okay? And then obviously, I talked about the system. I want to make sure that the system works, which means proof. Right now, okay? So the most important thing that I leverage, there are different types of story sequences that I will be showing you here today. And how can you leverage these things for you to be able to have the ability to profit from it, okay? As you can see here, client retreat Greece was the best trip I've taken. Dubai in 10 days will be next level. So I had a Greece client retreat with 7 of my clients. It is exactly the same thing that I did in Dubai. It's already online right now because it's like a month, 1.5 months ago. If you're tired of being stuck below $10,000 a month with a bad offer, inconsistent leads and sales, a bad environment, not being able to be around the right people making $20,000 to $50,000 a month, DM me the word info and I'll send you details, right? Instant social proof. 35K, making 30K a month, making 40K a month, and making 50K a month. The reason why I leverage these numbers is because people can literally look it up. You can go to Nik Setting testimonial right now, and all these 4 or 5 people that you see in this picture are people that I've recorded a testimonial with, right? So this is a client testimonial, social proof / credibility sequence, okay? Which is very important for the moment you have client results. And if you don't have client results, you need to keep watching because that is the moment I'll explain you the stories that you can use for you to be able to profit insane amount of money from this sequence without leveraging direct credibility, which also works well, okay? More clients winning, 30K a month, one of my clients, 15K a month, 40K a month, right? Then ended August at 17.6K, 25K in the first 10 days of September. Growth can happen fast. Most don't see their own inefficiencies, don't know how to solve their problems, or don't have the right info or resources that allows them to solve their problem, right? That's why getting a mentor helps you solve the problem. And this is something I constantly explain. This was story by story. Social proof credibility, social proof credibility, social proof credibility. And then 6K paid in full, ramping up to 50K a month together. Boom, 6K paid in full here, as you can see, right? I've actually taken sales extremely serious. I think I've improved a lot. Another testimonial on my YouTube channel coming. So I leverage so much social proof. I had the last 2 to 3 clients that paid me, right? That I started working with, my clients. Are clients that both told me, Nick, the reason why I paid you is because you have an insane amount of client testimonials, right? I have a complete page dedicated to client testimonials in person, on Zoom, online, for me to have the ability to express my value to the market, for me to have the ability and the opportunity to express how valuable the solution is that I've built for people to benefit from it, okay? So I guess I've been proven the fact that generating client results is something that I've been owning within the market. My schedule was going crazy last week, and I had to lock in, right? There's a lot more time right now. So DM me the word call to schedule in a one-on-one call with me, like Yannick, right? Yannick is doing 50K a month right now. I just posted a testimonial video with him on my Nik Setting testimonial channel. It's the 5th of September. We made 14K in 3 days with Nik and still getting value in every single video. If you're not taking a call, I don't know what you're doing. And listen, the most important sequence and process I want you to understand about these 5 stories is that every single story is based on the metric of people showing that of me showing people that the product, that the service, that the solution that I built and have created is something worth trying. That the proof is there based on the amounts of money that people make. That people feel a certain FOMO the moment they see a story sequence like this. It's called a credibility story sequence, right? And the drops in engagement are from 3,159, 12% decreasement to almost 3K. Then 6% decreasement, 2.7, 5% decreasement, 2.6, and ultimately 2.2. It decreases a lot by the last story. That's always very normal. So from the first to the last, it's around a 25 to 30% decreasement in towards story views, right? So then, what do we do then? We understand the credibility-driven story sequence right now, and we can leverage that the moment you have testimonials. But Nick, what if you are starting, or what if you don't have so many testimonials that you can leverage? What can you do then? And I know that most of you guys are following me on Instagram. So the sequence that I use here, right? As you can see, these are value-driven and action-driven reels. A lot of posts and stories. But when we go to archive, right, you can see exactly the type of stories that I constantly post, right? For example, here, client result. I post so many client results because I have too many. Then you can see here, this is a Black Friday offer where I basically said, yeah, you get a 0% discount. That was fun because I don't give Black Friday discounts. The people that need a profit from Black Friday discounts are people that suck, are people that have shitty products, and are people that need to make quick cash. I have never done a Black Friday deal in my entire life since the moment I run business. Why would I do that or any other special deal? I know the value of my product. I know people would pay me anyways. So I don't need to make quick cash on fucking Black Friday. That's retarded. Okay? And then as you can see here, it's Friday morning, 2 clients message me. It's the type of story sequences that you can use, right? And then here, 746 spent, 0.32, 0.39 per profile visit, resulting in 4.19 per qualified follower, which is almost 180 followers, which ultimately results in 113 conversations, 30 book calls, running the ad for 9 days. New blue ocean strategy. And people are like, wow, Nick, what type of ad are you running? And I've made a video about this ad, so I'm going to explain and I'm going to launch the video on towards this ad. And I will launch the video and I will launch the video soon on how I run this exact ad process. Okay. Besides that, the story sequence is important because it gains interest. Okay. As you can see here, 106 calls. One of my clients closed 13K from 106 DMs with the outbound campaign and the infrastructure that we built him, right? Another 10K cash period from YouTube system that we built him. And then here, hiring a virtual assistant, right? Another client testimonial here, more cash, 10K day, front end never disappoints because again, I'm working on the back end consistently, right? And I'm preaching this in a certain way where I want to talk about the things that interest me and that are most valuable to me. But I do this with a sequence, right? So the second sequence is we can keep using the credibility ads all the time, but that's not the most important thing. It's the ability to be able to find a combination in towards making credibility-driven stories. We want to understand how to make value-driven stories. We want to understand how to make CDA-driven stories. Okay, CDA-driven stories are stories like this. I don't know if I can show you. Let me see. For example, this is a CDA-driven story. This could be a CDA-driven story. If I said, DM me the word YouTube, and I'll send you over the exact asset. Okay? There are different types of assets we can leverage, as you can see. So there are very important metrics to measure, right, for us to create these types of things. So the second sequence, instead of posting one close friend story here, then you basically add a normal story, just yours. You click on your story here. If I can show you. When I click on this, and I want to post a story, I can, for example, do this, and I can go on you can go on close friends, and you can go on your story. So the moment you've done one close friends, you can now just do the rest your story, because the close friends will boost the others as well, which is one of the most important metrics, and which is why it works so well, because people click through, right? So instead of only doing one close friends and then ultimately a normal story after until the end. What I did, right, was a close friend story yesterday, then another normal story, and you wait for around 12 hours, right? As you can see here, this is 11 hours. 11 hours? Yeah, 11 hours. For me to be able to have the ability to do another close friend story, so this one will boost. This one got a lot of story views, right? The reason why is because the moment this story is completed, basically finished, is the moment Instagram starts to boost this story a lot. So this one got a lot of story views because I posted it 12 hours later and it was just only one story with this specific close friends symbol, right? Then another metric that we can leverage is an entire value-driven story. So as you can see, there's a lot of text here, and there's a reason why there's a lot of text here. This hasn't to do with a lot of credibility. This has more to do with an entire sequence that I leverage. For example, new ad strategy is completely wild, getting crazy profile visits, right? 50% of that are targeted budget, rich followers, 120 to 140 per qualified lead, unmatched quality for the price. It's similar to what you've seen here, but how do I measure and understand how I can create this entire story sequence better to actually make a structured concept, right? Because I talk a lot about how I run ads and how my clients run ads, but I also talk a lot about how to hire VAs, build proper teams, and run the entire outbound structure. Because the three acquisition sources that my clients use are content organic, ads, paid funnel, right? And then outbound. Whenever you currently feel stuck and you don't understand how to position your offer the right way, leverage the right structure and model for you to have the ability to increase the ceiling, right? To build a bigger infrastructure that can sustain multiple acquisition sources, right? Like ads, outbound, referral acquisition, ascension process, building a proper story sequence, right? Building converting mechanisms like YouTube, Instagram sequences, DM, email sequences. I want you to book a call in the description right now. 2025 is going to allow us to make a lot of money, right? With high ticket services, right? And the only thing that I do with my clients, guys, it's easy, right? It's building infrastructures, selling these infrastructures towards other people. One of my clients, Carlos, as you saw, made $200,000 in the lawyer niche, right? I have clients in the roofing niche, home improvement niche, and I also have info product clients that sell info, right? The most important thing that I want you to understand about this metric and about the understanding of how to profit correctly from stories is the ability to stay consistent, the ability to understand psychology, the ability to receive data. And the most important thing is this, right? People can understand how to gather data, but gathering data is easy. It's about the ability to know how to act on data so you can make the necessary improvements, so you can make the necessary adjustments for you to be able to do it again. And then when you do it again, you'll profit. That is one of the most important things that I want you to understand, because we can make sick amounts of money within this ecosystem, the market we are living in. So profit from it. Book a call in the description. If you have any questions, ask me on Instagram. Speak to you soon. Ciao, ciao.